you're not.
I forgot we were
box
playing.
on the. Yeah, Blues are up 2-0, and they've got a rookie that a 26-year-old, 200+ game AHL guy named Megan that is in his first NHL game, and he just scored.
No kidding.
Yeah, pretty exciting for him. His second shift, I believe. Maybe third. Well,
did you want to bring your
well, I guess in a couple minutes.
Okay.
Well, Steve, I guess we'll start in a couple minutes here.
Okay.
We've got an SB Nation guy coming on in a few minutes from Chicago, Blackhawks.
Cool.
Zigliski. And then we've got Terry Yake will be coming on in a few minutes. We're going to do
nice. What's the plan for the sort of the outline, the timing, the content? What are you guys thinking?
In general, we have a little bit of an outline that Nick has made up. And as far as timing goes, I mean, sometimes the podcast lasts 45 minutes. Sometimes it lasts an hour and a half. Because really, it's a roundtable discussion with some, some hot takes that Nicky might throw out, some topics, and then
really, however long you've got works out. We have some people sometimes they come early and they have to partway through. So if you have to do that, we understand.
Yeah, for sure. So if you've got 20 minutes and you want to run, then that's fine. Or if you want to hang out, you can do that too.
Okay. Chances are I will probably have to hop off, but if I can, I'll hop back on.
Okay.
All right, sounds good.
From when to when? So you think you'd like we can run for about 10 or 15 minutes and then you jump back on a little later?
Yeah.
That work for you? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that sounds good. Well, then let's see. How about this? How about we just get Yaker on first? And hopefully he was watching the game.
Yeah.
We're trying to get Terry to do the dispatch intermission report.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, anyway, you want to do that first, Nick?
Yeah.
You want to start the show and then we'll call Terry. Well, I guess we'll start the show, Steve, with you, and then we're gonna bring Terry in the next 5 minutes. How's that?
Oh, okay. Tell you what, that sounds good. My guy here is getting ready to make a lot of noise, so if it becomes too loud in the background, let me know, and I can move.
Okay. All right, then.
That sounds good. Let's go ahead and get underway here.
All right, let's go.
Sounds good.
You're listening to Season 2, Episode 6 of Post Dispatch Radio with Nick and Nick. We're joined here today by Steve Albers. Steve Albers is the owner of Center Ice Brewery, which is opened up next year early on Olive Street. How you doing?
I'm awesome. How are you?
Doing good. We're glad to have you here tonight. We're just going to go ahead and jump right in here. We've been talking about various stuff here. We've got the Blues and Lightning are playing right now behind us. We've got the Winter Classic coming up. We've got the alumni game. Lots of fun stuff to talk about. I think Nick here, though, had a little game he had to play.
You want to jump right into that? Hey, Steve, what's your do you have a lot of knowledge about Blues history? You've liked the Blues for a long time, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't know how good my trivia is, though.
We might be putting you on the spot. Well, you know what? We were gonna have you play the game, but I see that we're looking at you. People don't know what you're doing right now, but we'll describe it. You're maybe you could just tell us first what you're doing, because you've got something going on. You're a pretty busy guy these days.
Yeah. So we're down here tonight. It's I don't even, what time is it? 7:30, 8.
Yeah.
We're down here building walls. So I'm just hopping out to my truck to get a piece of something for my guy, and hopping back in. So as of right now, let's see here. We got our walk-in cooler established for our tasting room. That's pretty much need to put the unit. It's got a remote unit to cool it that goes on top of the roof, and that'll cool that. And then we're framing out the bathrooms right now. So we've got metal studs that are actually, you guys can see that.
Okay,
So-
so I see that starting to come together. Yeah.
So even from the time when you were here, we're just making progress day by day, just every day, just, keep moving forward as much as we can. So a lot to take on, but I couldn't be more excited.
We want to proclaim you as the mayor of St. Louis Microbrewery. I think it's we want to give you like a title.
That works for me.
You'll go with that?
I'll take it.
All right. We've got St. Louis Blues hockey quiz that one of my kids made. Ben made a quiz game.
Okay.
And maybe you could play it if you went to the site and you could read off the questions and tell us your answers. You get 3 choices, A, B, or C. The tough spot is you've got 10 seconds to answer each question, which I think they put that in place to keep people from Googling everything.
Sure.
But I'm not sure how well it's going to work for you. But do you think you could go to Toast's Dispatch?
I put him in the chat right there.
You sent him a link?
Yeah.
Okay.
Am I able to do it through my phone?
Oh, is he on phone?
Oh, you're on a phone?
No, it won't work.
Yeah.
Get that.
Okay.
Well, hang on. Let me. Yeah. There's no way for me to get to the web right now.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, let me try it real quick. I'm gonna hit play. I'm gonna read the question, which is gonna make it super hard. So if you get even one right, I'll be impressed. But we've got 15 questions, and people out there want to know they want to know is Steve a Blues fan? I think you are, but I think you're gonna have to take the quiz and tell us. You ready? Okay, here we go.
Okay.
I'm hitting. All right. What year did Wayne Gretzky play for the Blues? 2000, 99, 90,
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, 2000, 96. Correct. Who has represented the Blues in the most All-Star games? Miroslav Halak or David Backes?
I gotta go with Holly.
He's got it. What would Dan Kelly call a Blues goal?
Dan Kelly?
Yeah, Dan Kelly.
Yeah, not John. Sorry, I'm a little young for that.
Okay. Hey, you know what I just realized? Nick, this is the old Blues quiz.
Did you pull up the old one?
I pulled up the old one. We got to go. We have an alumni themed one. I'm going to pull away from that one. That one doesn't count. But you got 3 out of 4. Or 3 out of 3, actually, probably. Okay, so let me go back. We're so prepared here.
You're off to a smashing start in this episode, I got to say.
Oh, yeah. Well, Nick, I can't. What do you guys? Oh, here it is. Play Blues Alumni Jeopardy. I got it. That was a different quiz game from a couple years ago. All right, here we go. Get ready to start in a couple seconds. And do we have a prize for Steve if he gets, let's say,
$10,000?
10,000. Okay. All right, I think
I'm putting it up right now.
We have 15 questions, and if you get 15 right, you get $10,000. Is that a deal?
Okay, I'll take it.
Okay, here we go. Blues Alumni Jeopardy. And who did the St. Louis Blues trade to get Brett Hall? Was it Rob Ramage and Steve Bozak, Darren Pang and Gump Worsley, or Rob Ramage and Rick Wamsley?
Wamsley and Ramage.
Oh, wait. Oh, crap. You know what? You're right. That's for sure. That is correct. And here we go. Who scored the winning goal in the Monday Night Miracle? Doug Wickenheiser, Rob Ramage, or Lee Norwood?
Doug Wickenheiser.
Oh, you knew that was right. Who's the only player in the history of the St. Louis Blues to ever wear the number 93? This is a tough one. Peter Stastny, Peter Zezel, or Peter Nedved?
Nedved.
And it was Zezel. Which one of these teams was not part of the second 6 expansion draft? California Seals, Edmonton Oilers, or Pittsburgh Penguins?
Oilers.
And I don't know. I've forgotten. It went away too quick. We got like 7 seconds to answer.
It's the Oilers.
Yeah, it was the Oilers. You're right, because it was the
agree with
California Seals were one of them, it threw me off the first time I ever saw that. In the early 1980s, the Blues had the kid line. Who was the right winger? Wayne Babbage, Bernie Federko, or Brian Sutter?
Federko. That's a guess.
Oh, it was Babbage. Now that's old school. Who scored the winning goal in the Monday Night Miracle? Doug Wickenheiser, Rob Ramage, or Lee Norwood?
Wickenheiser.
Oh, I knew that one. Who did the St. Louis Blues trade to get Brett Hall? Oh, I already did that one.
Yep. Right, Ramage and Wamsley.
Hey, you got it again. That's incredible. This isn't working, but I just keep hitting play again because we don't have enough time. It's like 9 seconds, and before I can even read it, it doesn't go all the way. It's all the way through.
I tried to tell you that.
Nick tried to warn me this wasn't going to work, but
That's all right. I love. Actually, this is a lot of fun.
okay. Who is the career leader for the most shorthanded goals? 23 by a St. Louis Blue.
Most shorthanded goals by a Blue?
Yeah. It's an unknown stat, but in the books.
Do I have options?
Yeah. Larry Patey was one of them. Brett Hall. Or
Steve Ott.
Steve Ott.
I got to go with Patey.
Oh, see, he's using logic. He was like, Hall can't have all of them. So you're right. Larry Patey. So, Larry, if you're listening, which he isn't, he would be, I'm sure he'd be happy to know that he's listening to this game. How many years?
Larry Patey makes his own honey. Did you know that?
No,
that is a fun fact.
I'll have to ask him about that. All right.
Yeah, he makes his own honey, and I hope one day to make a beer with Larry Patey's honey.
That's too cool.
That'd be a good one.
He has beehives out in his. He's got some farmland or something, and he.
I don't know the exact story, but I just know he brings honey into to the guys and sells it.
Okay.
So
right. Which one of these teams was that? My son set it to random. Every time I hit play again, questions come up. Okay, but I'm gonna hit play again. Oh, who was the first coach ever for the St. Louis Blues? Scotty Bowman, Lynn Patrick, or Bobby Plager? Trick question. First coach.
It was Bowman.
Bowman? It just went away.
Lynn Patrick.
It was Lynn Patrick, actually.
Yeah, you're right, because Scotty Bowman was the assistant coach, and then that's right.
Patrick got fired fast.
Okay, this one just flew by, but I remember the answer. I don't remember who all the choices were. Who has the most amount of minutes in goal for the St. Louis Blues? Was it Mike Liu, or was it maybe Cujo?
See you guys.
Who do you think? Who the most minutes ever in the net, between the pipes?
As a St. Louis Blue, I heard Liu, Cujo, and
and then you had Cujo, or maybe Manny Legacy.
Legacy. I have to go with Liu.
Yeah, you're right. That surprised me. 20,010 minutes between the pipes.
Wow.
Years in the 70s. Into 80. Which one of these teams was not part of the second? Oh, we did that one. All right. I'm gonna give you one last question. If you get this one right, you get the 10,000. Okay.
All right. Cool.
I'm not gonna give you even one of the possible answers.
That's okay.
Let's see. Okay. I heard one recently. So since you weren't listening to the game, you won't know this. Now Bernie Federko, you know who that is, right?
Yep.
Okay. Now what Bernie's number was, right?
24.
But in his first 2 games he played in the NHL, he had a different number. Do you know what it was?
It's a great question.
You got a 1 out of 100 chance to win $10,000.
You got 1 out of 99, 98 actually.
I think there was a
Bernie Federko's first number. Man.
Don't you even come close. I'm gonna have a heart attack. Because I got
47.
You weren't even close. It was 14.
Yep. 14.
I gave it to you. Okay. Yeah, there we go.
All right,
and
so
that ends that lightning round.
That segment.
And hey, I got to say right now that Steve Albers, the owner of Center Ice Brewery, is a St. Louis Blues fan. A very good one. Knowledgeable, loves the game. Am I talking the truth here?
I just gave a fist pump for a reason. Yep.
Okay.
Big Blues fan.
All right, there we go. Now Nick, take over. The quiz is done.
All right, so the quiz.
You know what we got to do? Crud, we got to call Terry. Yeah, we forgot about Terry.
We're going to bring Terry on. So we're going to bring Terry Ake on. We're going to talk some Winter Classic and some alumni coming up right here.
Yeah, now, hey, real quick, Steve, you just give us some filler now. You're not a filler. You're the main reason we're on the show tonight. We have now.
Toss me your post-it notes.
What's that?
Post note.
The post-it note?
It's his number. Oh, here it is.
Oh, you got it. Okay, here we go, Steve. Tell everybody out there off the Center Ice Brewery real quick. 30 seconds or less. I'm joking.
Yeah. No, I've got my elevator pitch down. It's good. So Center Ice Brewery is a craft brewery started by a hockey player. So I've been home brewing for 6 years. I'm passionate about home brewing. I'm passionate about the craft beer scene in St. Louis. The breweries like Schlafly, Urban Chestnut, Four Hands, Perennial Side Project, Second Shift, Civil Life, all these guys. It's super inspiring, and I'm just trying to make my mark on the St. Louis scene and dive into the community by making and innovative, creative beers. We do things with barrel aging and sours and IPAs and stouts and all kinds of different things. And just a big, strong passion of mine, hockey and craft beer. And to be able to say I play hockey and make beer for a living is the dream. So that's it.
All right, there you go. Now, let's just say we got somebody listening and they're interested now. They're saying, man, when's that going to open up?
Yeah, so grand opening is the projected date is April 2017 at this point. As you know, when you have a construction build out, anything can happen. So April is I'm trying to time it to where the first round of playoffs, game 1, we do our grand opening down here at Center Ice Brewery. And our grand opening will be whenever we release our first few batches of beer that we brew down here.
You know what I'm picturing? I'm picturing it's a 70-degree day. It's a beautiful day. Now the Blues are in the playoffs, okay?
Okay.
And you've got that soft opening going on.
Yep.
And maybe we get, like you said, maybe we get that call. We all come down. We hang out. We watch a Blues playoff game, and or maybe a late in the season game as they get ready for the playoffs. That's going to be a really fun time.
Yeah, fingers are crossed.
So now a lot of people. I personally have seen your video blog that you have. So if people would like to get connected to what you're doing, which is really exciting, really interesting, where would they go?
Yeah, thanks for the plug. I really appreciate it. So I'm trying to showcase behind the scenes of what I'm doing down here for Center Ice Brewery, as well as the Frozen Cup, which is my own winter classic hockey tournament where we raise money and awareness for families affected by autism. So I have a video blog or a vlog that I showcase what behind the scenes of doing both the brewery and the Frozen Cup entails, and a lot of family life too. His family's number one. So a lot with me and my wife and 2 kiddos. And so where do you go to find that? I'm all over Facebook and YouTube is where the vlog is at this point. So if you go to YouTube and search for Steve Albers, you will find me.
Perfect. All right, we're going to go ahead and bring on Terry Yaker real quick now.
We got Yaker?
Yep.
Are you there, Yaker?
It's dialing.
Oh, it's dialing. I'm sorry.
Hello?
Yeah, hey, Terry. Hi, Nick. How's it going? How's this batch?
What's going on? You guys and your fucking schedule, you guys are all over the map.
We're live on the air. You cut it out. Okay, 7:32. I guess we're late. I think we were saying 7:30, but then you wanted to start early. Well, here we are. Hey, you know what, Yaker? Why? I think you might know another gentleman that we've got on the air, the owner of Center Ice Brewery. He's with us right now in Google Hangouts. Do you know Steve Albers? You play a little hockey with him? Little shinny?
Of course I do.
All right, so you know Steve. Steve, you want to say hi?
Great hockey player in his own right.
I've seen him dangle.
Thanks, Yaker. Nowhere nearly as Yaker was a pro, man. Yaker just still owns everybody on the ice.
Especially me. Okay.
That's what happens when you're a goalie.
We won't even go there, Nick. That's that was
Right. All right. I was hoping for some love from you since you're on our show, but I guess that's not forthcoming. All right, then.
No,
hey,
not today. You're not getting it.
All right. So, man, Yaker, what do you got anyway for us? You got 10 minutes, 5? What are you driving down the road?
I am. Whatever you need right now.
Okay. All right. Well, then, hey, if you hear any strange noises, it sounded like a dinosaur there. But what that was is that Steve's down at the Center Ice Brewery with construction going on as we speak. So if we hear any noises, that's what it is. So
Yaker, you'd be proud. You'd be proud, buddy. I just crushed some ribs.
Sounds great. Well, how many times a week are we eating that? Is the body still treating you okay?
I need to get on the ice. The body's starting to reject these ribs, buddy.
Well, you better get out there and start moving around with us a little bit more.
Hey, Terry, if you can
I'm
see,
dying to get back on the ice.
We can see him on his, he's on Google Hangouts, so we can see him on the video. And right behind him is a bubble hockey game. Now, is that a great start to a game?
Oh, that sounds like it. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if I've ever been beaten in bubble hockey, so I'm looking forward to the first tournament in that.
Oh, we got Nikki and I got our own rod hockey game. It's not bubble hockey, but it's kind of a custom one. It's pretty cool. Hey, now did you watch any of the first period?
I'm still at work. I was getting home from Scott Trade Center trying to prepare for this winter classic, so I could try and take a couple days and enjoy the family and spend some time at home.
I don't know what the score was when the period ended, but it was 2-0 Blues at one point, and scored, I think, in his second or third shift.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to see them scoring some goals and creating offense. Really, that's the thing I've vocal about over the last 4 or 5 years is just the lack of offense. And frankly, I don't know that I've ever been more pleased than what I've been in the last month or month and a half with the way they create offense, the way they're generating chances, the way they're actually doing things and being a little more creative. They're playing north-south. They're playing with speed. I just like the way it's going right now. And, you know, it kind of shows on the scoreboard on a consistent basis. They're actually getting the job done night in and night out. And you're going to win a lot of hockey games because this team doesn't generally allow more than 2, maybe 3 a game on the average.
Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds good. Hey, did you catch what I said? I don't know if with the noise in the background, if you could hear me, but did you hear that Megan scored in his first game, maybe his third shift in the first period?
I did not hear that. No, well, good for him. It's great to hear.
Yeah, it was pretty. I didn't even see the goal. We were setting up the podcast, but we turned around and there he was, man, getting high fives, going down the bench.
So just goes to show you the depth of the organization when you've got Lindholm and Butler still in the American Hockey League. You bring up Hunt, and he looks like he belongs in the NHL. And you got another kid, and who else is still down? Pyarvi's still down there. I mean, there's a lot of depth there, and a lot of opportunities still for guys to make their mark.
Yeah, what did you think of Hunt's release on his shot? I'm a little impressed by that. What do you think?
I think he's got an incredible release. I mean, for a little guy, he shoots the puck amazing. He's got tremendous legs. His balance is good. Honestly, like, he has the ability to be an all-star if he was like 3 or 4 inches taller. But as a small defenseman, he's going to battle that battle that Chris Russell goes through his entire career. And really struggling to make your niche. And no matter how well you play, you just don't get respected as a quality defenseman in the National Hockey League. You know, the same as a Dumba in Minnesota or a Brian Rafalski. These guys were great defensemen, but they just never quite got the recognition he deserved. And he's going to have to battle just to continue to keep his job. And it's a shame because he has the talent to play in the NHL. And if we had, if you had a few more expansion teams or whatever, I'm sure he would find his home somewhere, but hopefully the Blues can find a spot for him. And, you never want to see injuries, but if injuries happen, this is where guys like him get an opportunity.
Well, you took the words out of my mouth. I just had this horrible feeling because when I watch hockey over, for 40 plus years, there's patterns that unfold with teams, and I'm waiting for the other shoe to fall with injuries, and injuries are opportunities for other players. But I still feel like, maybe I'm just being negative or worrying about things that aren't going to happen. But I'm like, oh man, I hope the season keeps rolling the way it is. Everything you mentioned earlier, that's what's happening. The team is playing at a level that's going to win games and get points. But I worry about people start dropping like flies soon. I don't know. What do you think? Everybody's going to be fine?
Well, you can't worry about it. I mean, look at last year. Last year was probably the most injury-riddled year that the St. Louis Blues have had or could have even imaginable. And everything worked out perfectly because they actually got healthy for the first time at the first game of the playoffs. So when you look at that, it goes in ebbs and flows. You never can guarantee you could stay healthy all year and then be injured and have half your team hurt going into playoffs and be eliminated in the first round. So you don't really worry about injuries, to be honest with you. In fact, injuries are an opportunity for other players to show the depth of the organization and get chances. In fact, I would actually rather have the injuries now and see what we got than I would have them at playoff time. And hopefully at playoff time, you're just healthy. That's what every team crosses your fingers for, because we all know the 2 months of playoffs, the 4 rounds is a sprint, and it always takes great play, good fortune, and a lot of good luck to get through it unscathed and get through to the finals and have a chance to win.
Well, shifting gears into the Winter Classic real quick. I wanted to ask you, we're having a special podcast on Saturday, December 31st, around 1:30 or so. Is there any chance you might be able to come on?
Which day is it? Sorry?
Saturday, December 31st, around 1:30. Are you busy?
Yeah, well, fortunately, I will be busy. I was taken back a little bit. I'm like, I thought that's what you said.
He didn't really just say that, did he?
but of course that's the smart ass in you coming out, and I didn't even recognize it. So,
well, I'm trying to have fun. I'm trying to make sure you have fun when you come on the show.
Unfortunately, I will be doing something, and I will be having a little fun at that time. Around 1:30, I should be hopefully skating out to center, getting announced with about 20 of the greatest players to ever play the game, and 6 or 8 of them that'll be in the Hall of Fame. It'll be a thrill of a lifetime for me, let alone, can imagine for the 40+ thousand that will hopefully be at Busch Stadium to watch.
You got to tell me, are you pleasantly surprised by the amount of fan buzz going on with the alumni game? Because that's what I hear. I just hear a lot of people excited about the alumni game. Is that what you hear?
There are a lot of people talking about the alumni game. The irony is a lot of the Blues players, and I've heard through the grapevine, are real excited about the game as well. They're probably more excited to watch our game than they are to play in their own. And then when you think about it, I mean, listen, Wayne Gretzky retired in 1999. That was 17 years ago. Robbie Fabry was 2 years old. He really never got to see him play. So when you think about some of these guys, Tarasenko was 6 or 7 years old. These guys, and he was in Russia. So these guys never got to see the greatest player to ever play the game. A lot of them never got to watch Brett Hull, Al McInnes, Chris Pronger that much. So I think it's a treat for them as well. And I think those guys are going to be as thrilled to watch these guys and get to meet them and hang out with them as I am, who got to play with and against many of them.
Yeah.
Now I got a question for you real quick.
Sure.
So with the alumni game coming up, Fox Sports and West has been hyping up Panger versus Bernie. Is there any player you're looking in particular forward to, a little rivalry maybe you had during your playing days that you're looking forward to playing against on the Hawks side?
Well, that whole team obviously was an arch rival of ours, but frankly, they weren't very good back in our day. And I'm going to, start with in case any of them are listening, they're going to know that in the late 90s, the Blues and the Hawks wasn't as big a rivalry as the Blues and the Red Wings, because we were the top 4 teams, the Blues and the Red Wings were, and the Hawks were, back a little bit. But I got a couple friends over there. Dave Macchio, I think, is going to be playing, and a few other guys that I'm Conroy, who I'm looking forward to getting out there against, and hopefully having a chance to go around if the legs will let me. And overall, it's just a matter of, I think we get out there. I think we're going to want to make sure we win that hockey game for the 40+ thousand Blues fans that'll be there to watch the game. And just remember that everybody's going to ask you about the Winter Classic game. Well, you got to play in it, but what are they going to remember at the end of the day? And everybody's going to ask you probably the one question they will ask you is, did you win? And even though it's an alumni game and nobody really cares, and there isn't 2 points on the line, we care, and we care for posterity's sake.
Well, yeah, that's the way Bernie, I guess, put it. He said they're putting the note on. When you put the note on, you're going to play hard and play for the fans.
That's right.
Hey,
absolutely.
Speaking as a fan, Terry, that, from our perspective, hopefully a lot of fans understand that this is so much fun for you guys, that while your competitive spirit, I know, is going to come out, and you're going to do everything you just said, you're going to play hard, you're going to play to win. We're happy that you guys get to get out there and play. So we're kind of happy for you. And however it turns out, I think that as long as you guys have a great time, I think everybody will just enjoy being part of it, So.
Absolutely. And there'll be no question that we're going to have a good time. There are so many great festivities set up around it. It is literally like a Super Bowl weekend here in St. Louis. It starts that morning and this continues right on through the end of the day on the 2nd. I think everybody's going to have a wonderful time around, a chance to meet up with some of these guys. There's opportunities to catch up with them at different events. And, for us, that 60-minute game is going to be obviously the pinnacle of the whole event for us. Right. But it won't be the only thing. That'll be a lot of fun. And then just catching up with some of these guys, former teammates, former roommates. I mean, I haven't had an opportunity to catch up with Pierre Turgeon in probably a half a dozen years. And we've talked on the phone numerous times, but he was my roommate for 3 years when I played here in St. Louis, and still consider him one of the greatest guys and greatest players to ever play the game. Should be in the Hall of Fame himself if you look at him statistically. And to call him a friend and have him back in town and be able to catch up is going to be a treat for me as well.
Well, I don't know what lines are. Obviously, we don't know how it's all going to pair up on who's going to play with who, or if it'll shift, if Unger and Bobby will change things up as the game goes on. But give me your perfect scenario. What would be the perfect situation, that you could just dream about for a long time coming when on the ice? Are you going down with Gretzky on your left and and Hall on your right or something, and you make a pass and Gretzky tips it in and you score and you high five each other? What are you picturing?
You know what? I haven't actually thought about it too much, but now that you mention it, I mean, I'm expecting to see a Gretzky, Oates, and Hall with Pronger, McInnes opening lineup. I mean, obviously that's that's kind of the dream opening lineup, I would think.
Sure.
Despite the fact that there's 3 or 4 other Hall of Famers that are going to be on the bench.
Well, maybe you want to power play?
I think you probably just hit it on the head right now. It's 1 or 2 shifts with Gretzky, and somehow, some way, it's a 2-on-1, and he's got the puck and gets it over to me, and I manage to fire a Yari Curry or Brett Hull type one-timer behind like a Darren Pang or something. I think that would be the ultimate highlight reel to have, and it might be like the most treasured goal that I ever score if I could get something like that and actually see it on a score sheet and have a video of it.
Oh man, I got an ear-to-ear smile going on right now. That sounds really good. Well, let's see what else we got.
Yeah, it would be incredible. I mean, I've had an opportunity to play with Holly here in St. Louis, and obviously Adam Oates and Pierre Turgeon. Never got a chance to play with Bernie, but to have the great one set you up for a goal, I think it would be quite a treat.
Yeah, gosh. Man, we're hunting for. We had a friend. We thought we were gonna get some really good field binoculars. We got some decent seats, but I wanted to be able to I want to see the hair stand up in the back of your neck when you score. So
yeah, the celebration in the corner might be a little overdone if something like that actually happens. It might look a little bit more like a child scoring a tournament winner than I will be a veteran alumni at the ripe old age of 40-something playing in a game that really shouldn't mean anything. But that'll be the kind of emotion that'll be flowing through if it happens.
Well, I guess I'm sure either way it's going to be a blast, no matter what. But weather could come into play. I was talking to Steve Templeton, and he said that he thinks it's going to be. He's looking at the models, and he's got the GFS model, and he's saying that he thinks a cold front. They don't know for sure yet, but he's thinking a cold front's going to be out of the area, dry air, and maybe in the upper 30s. I think he said, or maybe lower 30s. So hopefully it'll just be perfect for you guys, ice conditions and everything.
That would be absolutely ideal, actually. I mean, in the 40s and cloudy would be ideal weather. In the 30s with a little light snow would be even better. But besides that, anything but rain is going to be good. We hope it's not as cold as it was the other day. That won't bother us too much on the ice. It'll make it miserable. It's just another story to tell, but I don't want it to be miserable for the fans. Those fans are, they're going to be out there sitting in the seats for 2 or 3 hours, and undoubtedly many of them will not dress warm enough. And if you don't dress warm enough, it's going to be a tough night for you. So please, anybody that's hearing this, make sure you put enough clothes on. Better to be too hot than too cold. And so you can sit there and enjoy the entire game and all the festivities and the fireworks and all that goes on around it.
All right, you guys heard that first from Terry Ake. He wants everyone to have clothes on at the Winter Classic. I got it right?
No nudist camps attending the Winter Classic.
Okay, lots of them. All right. Hey, Steve, are you there? Do you want to ask Terry any questions or anything? Catch up with them on anything?
It's funny. I see Yaker all the time at Pappy's, so I get to see my good fair share of him, right, Yaker?
Oh, okay.
I think he's telling on you, Yaker.
Officially, I only go there once a month.
Officially. That's right.
That's the official record. Anyway.
No, that's the big hangout, isn't it, on Olive? Is that where everybody goes? Is that where Pappy's is at?
You have the best ribs in St. Louis. You have to get all over it.
America, you can't beat it. And I do have some good friends over there, and I get some preferential treatment, which allows me to get in for lunch and get out in an appropriate amount of time to get back to the office. So thanks to those guys over at Pappy's, and I hope everybody that's in for the Winter Classic takes time to stop over there. And are we going to be able to check out the bar, Steve?
Not yet. As much as I had hoped, that's why I'm down here at 8:00 at night. It's making things happen so we can get open for an April grand opening, Yaker, right in time for playoffs.
All right. Well, a little bit late for the Winter Classic, but it's going to be a wonderful. Nonetheless, I've seen the build out as it's happening, and boy, oh boy, it's going to look pretty awesome down there.
Hey, I've got some exciting news. In fact, Yaker, you won't be able to see this, but the Toast Dispatch guys will. I got an early Christmas gift today.
All right.
And my buddy, Joey DeCold, got me the penalty box door from the old arena.
Oh, wow.
That is cool.
Yaker, did you go through that door a couple times?
Oh, that's pretty sweet looking right there.
You know what? I probably would have, yeah. I played 3 or 4 games in there, so I'm sure I managed to trip somebody or something. It probably wasn't a fighting major or a rough penalty. It was a tripping or a high sticking or something, but there's no doubt that I went through there once in a while. So I think it'll be a good spot for it. You might want to put it somewhere when some of the alumni, like a Kelly Chase or Tony Twist or a Darren Kimball come in there, you can just show them where their seat is, and it's right through that door.
Yeah, what if you set up?
That's great.
Yeah, what if you set up just a box? Just set up the penalty box like in the middle of the bar, and you could just put like unruly customers. You're kicking them out of the bar, you just stick them in the penalty box.
Yeah, that's good.
That would be even better. There, so you can stay in the bar, but you have to stay behind these walls, and you're in a penalty box right now, and put a sign on it that says, "This person's been bad. 2 minutes timeout."
If you're really
like the Slapshot movie.
If you're really bad,
2 minutes, you feel shame.
If you're really bad, you don't get to play bubble hockey like for a week. That's when you really screw up.
Yeah.
Well, gosh, Yaker, but you make it. You say you're heading from Scott Trade, heading home.
I am looking for some dinner right now, and going to head in and have a bite to eat because I still got some Christmas shopping to do. Try and get ready so that somebody has something under the tree. There hasn't been time in the last 3 weeks to do that, so that's one of those things that you're supposed to do this time of year. I should have done it 3 weeks ago, but hey, nothing like last minute, right?
It's Winter Classic. You got an excuse.
Yeah, well, so we're talking solid and protein shake, right? You said you're nowhere near Pappy's right now. Solid and protein.
No, not right
shake.
now. I'm not.
Okay. All right. Well, okay, what's going on with the Blues game, Nick? What do we got?
The Blues right now, I think it's still up 2-0. Is the last I saw. Yeah, 2-0. 13 minutes left in the second period.
2-0. Man,
Megan still has the last
Road
goal.
Warriors, 2 in a row, first time this year.
Road Warriors. We've been anything but that this year, but that's been an interesting split there. I mean, at home they've been fantastic, and on the road for whatever reason they have a little bit more trouble. It seems like they're struggling a little bit there.
So yeah, Terry,
it's something they'll get figured out. It goes in ebbs and flows, and over the course
sure.
of the season, it'll all even out. Their road record may not be quite as good as their home record at the end of the year. Like last year, it was very even, but at the end of the day, they'll get it figured out, and they'll be just fine.
For sure, it's one of those freak accidents right now where it's like you don't really know why. It could just be a whole nothing they're really doing wrong on their end. But the splits just aren't looking great right now.
Hey, Terry, I had an idea as to why the Blues were having trouble on the road, okay? And do you have your shotgun nearby? You can blow this out of the air as I say it.
Okay.
You ready? So I just had a theory that I'm watching the games, and I'm thinking that when we're on the road, he's trying to get matchups. Rightly so, maybe, right? And so he's in trying to get matchups. Sometimes it comes at the sacrifice of we've got puck possession, we're entering the offensive zone, but a couple guys bail out and they want to get a line change. They want to get the right matchup, and we lose that puck possession by doing that. Does that happen to some degree, do you think? And is it a possibility on the road?
It can happen. It actually can happen a lot, and it's very astute of you for knowing as little about hockey as you know, Nick, to actually come up with that kind of a wonderful theory. But there is a lot of truth to it, because if you start your shift every time you get on the ice and you're chasing the puck for the first 20, 30 seconds, it makes it a lot more difficult to score. And teams do play a lot of puck possession now. A lot of teams do what the Detroit Red Wings did in the 90s, what they got from the Russian Red Army, which is they come up to the line. If they don't like what they see, they're not afraid to kick it back, because all the D have a lot of skill nowadays, and they can easily handle a puck and move it up themselves, rotate it back, and keep possession until they find the lane or the hole that they like. It's not just drive it forward no matter what at all costs and just give it to the other team, run in, hit somebody, hope you can get it back. There's a lot more puck possession. So chasing for the first half of your shift is not a positive way to have a lot of energy when you do get it back and have an opportunity to create some offense. So I actually like your theory. I think I'll take it to Hitch and see what he has to say about that. Maybe they can stop messing around with their line changes and their matchups and start winning on the road. So it's actually quite ingenious.
Wow. Well, I think you're having fun with me, but I'll take it anyway.
Never would I do that.
Now, listen, you've just been hammering me, so I want you to tell the loving viewing audience that listening audience is that I am the best 55-year-old backup to the backup alumni goalie named Nick that you know. Is that true or not?
Yeah, probably. You're right up there. You're in the.
Oh, you know another Nick?
You're in the top 2 at least in that category with all those 3 parameters. And the other guy, he's still in the hospital. So I'll give it to you today.
Oh God. Oh, someday.
Once he gets out of that full body cast, though, he's right back in there.
Yeah. All right.
Then you'll be number 2 again.
All right, man. Well, I'm hoping to get back out in the ice with you guys, but I know it's getting crowded out there. And matter of fact, I was talking to Eddie Stanowski. He's come on the podcast before, and I'm gonna come down there when Eddie gets in town. He was, I'm not his best friend, obviously, or anything, but we've spoke a few times, and we're goalies, so I think he likes me. Well, anyway, I'm gonna come down and watch you guys next week. I think is it. I don't want you to give away all the time, so there's 1,000 people there, but basically Monday, Wednesday, Friday next week. You think? Or are you gonna skate? Are you gonna skate some other days? You getting your
Sounds
food?
great. Look forward to seeing you out there.
No, you're getting your food. You didn't hear my question. Where are you at? McDonald's? You better not be.
No. I'm actually pacing outside, waiting to go in and eat. It's freezing cold out here.
Oh no, I'm gonna let you go then. But all I was saying is, next week are you playing Monday, Wednesday, Friday? You think? I was gonna come out and watch.
Oh yeah, no, we're actually we're skating every day. The 27th, 8th, 9th, and 30th.
Okay then. Yeah. Well, hey, I'll be in the stands watching. So, hey, Terry, thanks so much for coming on. Great talking to you.
Always a pleasure. Thanks a lot, and we'll catch you soon.
Okay,
always appreciate it.
All right. See ya.
Bye.
All right, bye. All right, that was Terry Yake, Blues alumni, and of course, going to be a player in the upcoming Winter Classic alumni game. So always great to have him on and have his insight on the Blues and all things Winter Classic.
Yeah, and I got to say real quick that Yaker is easily the best analyst, Blues insider in St. Louis. When he gets on the radio and he wants to talk Blues and tell us what's going on and give us some insight to the game, man, he gives you, if you want to learn hockey, you just sit and listen to Terry Yake talk about what, and if you want to know what the Blues are doing, right.
Always great. Always great stuff from him. He's got great insight into the game, especially from being a player and having that extra insight. So always good having his viewpoint. Steve had to take off. He did have to drop out. He's doing construction on Center Ice Brewery, of course. You can check that out. Like you said, hopefully in April, we'll be opening up for the playoffs, and you can go down there on Olive Street, try out some of the microbrew beers, craft brewery, and check it out and watch a Blues game. So it sounds like a great time coming up there. And with that being said, we're going to go ahead and start wrapping it up here. We got just 2 last topics we wanted to cover. The hot take of the week is going to be that Brad Hunt should be on the ballot for Norris this year. Would you take that, Nick?
I'm going to have to leave it because I think we're going to have to put Megan on there.
Megan? Okay, I can go with that. But
no, we can't go Norris, but I'm going to go.
You can go with the Hart. Yeah, the Hart Memorial, or the, what's the other one for forwards? The Selke. Yeah, for defensive forwards. Give him the Selke or the Hart.
Yeah.
So Brad Hunt for the Norris and Megan for the Hart Memorial. Start campaigning now. Get out there and vote early, vote often. And our last thing we got is the tweet of the week from Kyle Foxton.
Now, who's Kyle Foxton?
Kyle Foxton is a random guy found on the STL Blues Twitter hashtag. His clout score is 49, though, so he's looking good there. Love this tweet from him. You can follow him on Twitter
sarcasm.
at KFox9611.
What was this tweet saying?
And the tweet is, when Blackhawks fans say 3-7, I just assume they're letting you know how many games they won in the first round last year.
Oh,
so a good little slam there. Of course, 3-7 is the Blackhawks' favorite rallying cry for how many cups they've won. We've won 3 cups in 7 years. Oh, yeah. It's going to keep going until it's like 3 in 50 years. Look at how great we are.
Well, so wait, let me understand. So they've won 3 in the last 7. That makes sense.
7. It was 3-6 last year, but
so now they're saying, but wouldn't they be saying 4-7 then, or 4-8?
No, because you'd think so,
but they can't figure that.
But
part
they can't
out.
figure it. No, they're not that smart. Their adding skills aren't that great.
Now, who do we need to bash here from SB Nation?
SB Nation, we have a couple of exemptions we'd like to a couple of no shows we'd like to call out. Not really. No, these guys all gave us advance notice.
Yeah, and I want to say
did
this
have a
right
couple
now.
guests.
If we try to call him out, a good guy from SB Nation, Blackhawks guy, funny, a writer for SB Nation, Second City Hockey.
Great guy. Love having him on. Robert Ziglinski.
Ziglinski. And got to get the G in the Zig.
You can follow him on Twitter at Robert Ziglinski, just like the name.
Yeah, and we can't bat, because we sure enough, we would sit here and say, oh man, where's Robert? Man, he didn't even tell us he wasn't going to make it tonight, right? And then we'd find out, like tomorrow, we'd hear, a Robert Ziglinski was killed yesterday, and the L train ran him over, and right, and we'd be like, oh God, we just got done talking bad about him, and he's dead.
Probably would have said he still should have come on.
So Ziggy, we hope you're okay. We hope you're not dead, and we hope you were able to jump off that track at the last second, and you weren't killed. But we know that's why you missed the podcast. There wouldn't be any other reason other than the fact that you were almost killed on an L train. So we're just assuming that's what, we're just happy for you.
And the other guy, of course, is our good buddy Liam Nielsen, the action movie from Taken. Yep.
You didn't have it in the sheet here, but yeah, Liam, for sure. I wish he was here, and he couldn't make it, but he did let us know he couldn't make it.
That joke went right over your head, didn't it?
Oh, you know what? I didn't catch it. I was
Liam Nielsen?
Liam Nielsen?
The actor?
Yeah, I don't think that's his name. I mean, I don't think there's a pun in there or anything. If you have to explain the joke, it's not
Liam.
funny.
They're both Liam. The audience laughed. The studio audience laughed. If I had a laugh track, I'd play it right now. I'm setting that up for the next podcast. Next podcast will be a laugh track, and it'll drive you all nuts. You'll all turn it off by the time it's over. All right, so that will about wrap it up. Is there anything else you want to talk about here?
Well, you know what? Let's just give one little final update. I'm going to go ahead and click here, because there's people that... Excellent.
One final update.
Okay, final update. The Blues are... Oh, it's 2-1. Back come the Lightning.
Lightning are coming back. Who scored?
Boyle. I thought he was out. I thought he had a boil on his head. Oh, that was stupid.
Boyle.
Okay, so, hey, my man Perron scored, and I love Perron. David Perron.
You're all about Perron. He's been great. Really a great pickup for the Blues this year, having Perron. Really helping out the team, especially with the loss of Brouwer and Backus. That helps us soften that blow a little bit.
Hey, somebody's playing music. I can't hear you.
Yeah, that would be the fade out music. It means you need to shut up, and we're going to...
All right, let's fade out together. Father and son, Nick and Nick. Toast Dispatch Radio, Season 2, Episode 6, coming to an end.
All right, thanks for listening, everybody. You can, of course, follow us on Twitter at Toast Dispatch. Check out our website, toastdispatch.com. We've got some new games on there. Blues Jeopardy is a good one you can play. Test your knowledge about the Blues. And how much did we offer, Steve? $10,000? Yeah, $10,000 still applies to everybody. They can get 16 questions out of a possible 15 correct.
I think somebody can do it. We got a lot of smart people out there.
If the audience is intelligent enough for that one, I think they can pull that off. Subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher. And, of course, you can always listen to it on our website. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, thanks a lot. See you.